All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to deconstruct one of the most incredible human experiences, bliss. But we're not going to look at it as just some random fleeting feeling. We're going to treat it like a piece of technology, something you can actually understand, capture, and yeah, even program into your life.
Seriously, think about it for a second. Can you remember a time when everything just clicked? The world went quiet and everything felt perfect? Maybe you were on top of a mountain. Maybe it was just a quiet moment alone. Try to lock into that feeling just for a moment.
You know those moments? They usually feel like they come out of nowhere, right? Sparked by a breathtaking sunset, a quiet landscape, or an unexpected connection with an animal. They feel random, like lightning strikes. But what if I told you that all of these moments share a common technical structure? What if there's a code behind it all?
This right here, this is the core idea for our entire explainer. We are going to completely reframe what bliss is. It's not just some nice fluffy feeling. It's a powerful, high-performance update to your internal operating system. It's a moment when your personal software literally levels up.
Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we're going to define what this system update really is. Then, we'll pop the hood and look at the blueprint. After that, we'll get into how you can become the architect of it. And finally, we'll apply all this logic to the very complex and very important world of intimacy. So what are we really talking about with this system update? Well, from what this framework calls the architect's perspective, bliss is that rare moment of perfect synchronization. It's when your neurology, your internal software, is in absolute perfect harmony with reality, the external hardware. There's no lag, no buffering, no friction, just a pure, direct, high-speed connection to your experience. All right, so how does this actually happen? How do we get that perfect sync up? To understand it, we're going to break down the magic into a technical framework that's built on 3 really cool core theories. This is how we turn a mysterious feeling into a repeatable blueprint. First up, we've got Neuro-Linguistic Programming, or NLP. And what's really fascinating here is that NLP doesn't even see bliss as an emotion. Nope. To them, it's a technical process. That jaw-dropping view acts as a pattern interrupt. It literally shuts off that nonstop chatter in your head. And the second that voice goes silent, you drop into what's called your core state. Think of it as your most powerful factory default setting, your super version. Now, building on that, we have this idea of the interface. Imagine your mind is like a screen, a window between you and the world. Most of the time, that screen is kind of smudged up with filters, your fears, your beliefs, your past experiences. Bliss is that moment the screen becomes perfectly crystal clear. And when that happens, you're no longer just looking at the sunset. You are the experience of the sunset. The separation just dissolves. And get this, it isn't just happening in your head, it's physical. The third theory, the Coherent Nexus, describes bliss as a moment of ultimate heart-brain coherence. Your internal systems are running so efficiently, there's zero wasted energy. It's like you literally plug into the highly organized energy of the world around you, like a forest or the ocean, and your whole system just syncs up with it. You basically become a superconductor for the experience itself. Okay, this is where it gets really exciting. Because if bliss has a blueprint, well, that means we don't have to just sit around and wait for it to happen by accident. We can actually build it. We can be the architect and reverse engineer these moments on demand. So here's the playbook, a simple 3-step process. Step 1, identify your triggers. What are those things that spark that sense of wonder for you? Step 2, when you feel that bliss kick in, don't just let it float by. Capture it. Amplify the feeling in your mind, make the colors brighter, the sounds clearer, and create a physical anchor, something as simple as touching your thumb and forefinger together. And finally, step 3, install this state. And this part is the absolute key. Because here's the big mind shift. Bliss isn't the destination. It's not a vacation you take from your life. It is the new, upgraded operating system that you should be running all the time. The whole point isn't to chase these fleeting moments. It's to build a new foundation, a new high-performance baseline to live from. Okay, now we're going to take this whole framework and apply it somewhere a little more complicated, where the stakes are higher. Physical intimacy. Because this is a place where a powerful system update for one person can accidentally trigger a critical system error in another. You see, during these really intense moments of connection, the nervous system can get Well, completely supercharged with positive energy. And all that energy has to go somewhere. So to discharge it, the body can trigger some powerful and sometimes kind of weird-looking reflexes. Things like a sudden burst of laughter out of nowhere, unexpected tears, or a feeling of being completely gone or zoned out.
And boom, this is where you get the system error, a total clash of operating systems. So in her reality, she's experiencing a release of pure ecstasy. But his internal script, his old programming, completely misreads the data. He interprets her laughter not as bliss, but as mockery. He sees her tears not as a release of old pain in a safe space, but as new pain that he just caused. He's not seeing her reality at all. He's seeing a projection of his own fears and insecurities. So the big question is, how do you fix this bug? How do you debug the connection? Well, the architect's approach is to consciously rewrite the code for both partners, turning what could be a moment of conflict into a moment of even deeper connection. All right, if you're the one observing this reaction, your job is to perform a manual override on your old programming. Here are the new instructions. First, understand that this data, the laughter, the tears, it's proof that the system is working perfectly. Second, you need to see these reactions for what they are, the highest possible compliment, a sign of such deep safety and trust. And third, your only task is to stay present, breathe, and hold the space. That's it. Don't reject it. And if you're the one experiencing the bliss, you can actually get ahead of this. You can be proactive by using a technique called pre-framing. It's basically like giving your partner a new user manual for your operating system beforehand. By saying something simple like, hey, just so you know, if I feel really safe and happy with you, sometimes I might laugh or cry. It's a good thing. It's just how my body expresses joy. You give them the right code to interpret your experience, and you stop the system error before it can even start. Just let that one sink in for a second. It's such a powerful shift in perspective, right? The goal is to see these raw, unfiltered expressions not through the lens of your own ego or fear, but to see them for what they truly are, the sound of a nervous system that finally feels free enough to be completely and totally honest. And that's really what this is all about. This framework goes way beyond just bliss or intimacy. It's about understanding your own programming. You are the architect. You hold the blueprint. So I'll leave you with this question. What outdated script, what system error in your own life is ready for a rewrite?